Good morning. You get me fresh out of the shower today. Haven't done anything, but I wanted to start this video, so here we go. I've wanted to do this video for a long time. I just couldn't get it together with planning it. To have our top 5 favorite Pinterest recipes all in the same month. But excuse me, but this is that month. So I am going to start out with Bolognese sauce. This is probably it's in our top 5. I can't really order them, from 1 to 5, but this spaghetti sauce is so delicious. So very delicious. So I'm just gonna show you all the ingredients. I'm gonna show you how I make it, and all the recipes will be linked below. And then probably by the end of this video, you'll see me all hair dried and put together, because that's just how it goes these days. So let me show you the ingredients. We have onion, garlic, celery, carrots, 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, milk, which might seem like a weird ingredient, but it makes it delicious, dry white wine, salt, pepper, an entire stick of butter, Italian seasoning, garlic powder, nutmeg, ground pork, ground beef, and that is everything. This is not a fast sauce. This is like a 5-hour sauce, which is why I'm starting it in the morning for dinner tonight. Doesn't that look delicious? That's my Amish cream pie for dessert. Woo. So I'm starting it now because there are a couple of steps. None of them are hard, but it takes a long time on the stove. And then it's best to let it rest for a while before you eat it, so that all the flavors combine nicely. 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of ground pork. And I'm going to brown that up, drain it and take it out of the pot. Then I'm gonna add all the veggies and get those sauteing. So while this is browning, I'm gonna chop up carrots, onion, and celery, but actually the carrots you shred so they kind of melt into the sauce. This is nice and browned, and I just wanted to show you how nice and crumbled it is. You want it really crumbly so that it melts into the sauce. So now I'm just going to drain it, and then I will get my veggies in the pot separate from the meat. You know this trick? I just drained the meat into a strainer, and I put a little tin foil in the bottom of a bowl, and then all the grease will drain into the foil, and then you just let it harden up, ball it up, and throw it away. Next, I have melted 1 stick of butter and added my celery and onions, and these are just going to cook slowly while I shred up my carrots. Then I will add the carrots and I think the garlic at the very end when the veggies are all soft. I just added 2 cups of shredded carrots. So now when all the veggies are soft, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. And then we will add the meat, the milk, and the nutmeg. And we're going to simmer it for 1 hour before we move on to the next step. All right, the veggies are nice and soft. So now I'm going to add the meat back into the pot. I added the garlic. And then I will pour the milk in, turn it way down low to barely a simmer, and we're gonna let it simmer uncovered for an hour. Oh, I can't forget my pinch of nutmeg. Just don't ask me why there's nutmeg in it. It does something. So I don't know, I'm just gonna do a little shake. Okay, then we're gonna turn it way down to low. And then this will just simmer for an hour, probably while I go get myself ready for the day and clean up my dishes. All right, got myself together, and this has been simmering for an hour. Most of the liquid is gone. So now I'm going to add my tomatoes, my white wine, 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, Stir it all together, and then we're going to simmer it uncovered for another 2.5 hours. I'll try to do this without getting it on my clothes. Okay. I'm just going to use the rest of this. That looks about like 1.25 cups. White wine. I'm going to go a little shy of a teaspoon because I have found that this Himalayan pink salt is saltier than regular salt, I feel like. 2 teaspoons. Ooh, uh-oh. I don't know if we can do this one-handed. Okay. 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. And 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Alright, now this has plenty of liquid in it, and so we want to simmer it uncovered. I wish you guys could smell this right now. Then I will show you what it looks like when it is all finished. The nice thing about this recipe too is that it makes a ton, so I like to freeze the leftovers. There's plenty for 2 dinners out of this one recipe. So I'm not going to show you what it looks like on a plate of spaghetti because we're having company over tonight, and it's the first time that we've met this family, so that would be a little weird if I whipped out my phone and started videoing the spaghetti on a plate. So anyway, I hope you'll try this one. It is super delicious. We love it. So that's our first recipe. On to the second. All right, for our second favorite Pinterest meal. Actually, it's not our second favorite, but it's the second one that we're cooking. How about that? It is the Tortellini pasta Primavera. So we have carrots and peas, garlic and onion, butter, Parmesan cheese, half and half. I am modifying the recipe a little bit. It calls for heavy cream, white wine, and chicken broth. And I am going to use mostly half and half because I want to use this like a half a container and I want to use it up. I have 2 packages of cheese tortellini, salt and pepper, and ham. So the first thing we're gonna do is chop the veggies, chop the ham, and then it is simple as sauteing the veggies and then making the sauce once the veggies are soft. I have added the onions and the carrots to the pan with the butter. As soon as these are soft, I will add the garlic. Journey is chopping up the ham for me. How's it going, Journey?
Good.
Good. Now I'm gonna get the water going for the tortellini. Okay, the veggies are all soft, so I'm gonna add the chicken broth. Turn the heat down a little bit. And then this is just gonna hang out for a minute while I get the half and half measured out and the Parmesan cheese. Okay, Journey's gonna add the half and half for me. And I did turn it way down so that it doesn't boil. We just want a gentle simmer. And then I will add the Parmesan cheese. I have added the ham and the peas, and as soon as this gets heated through, then all I have to do is add the cooked tortellini and let it hang out for a minute or 2, and then this is ready to eat. If asparagus was in season, I would add asparagus to this as well, but it is not, so it is just peas and carrots tonight. And then we are having Brussels sprouts, and if you cook bacon on a rack over the top of it, then it drips down into the Brussels sprouts. So I will save this bacon for breakfast, and we will eat the Brussels sprouts that are underneath. Okay, Okay, here's Julia's plate. This is what it looks like when it's finished. What do you think, Julia? Is it gonna be good?
Delicious, yes.
Pinterest meal number 3 is about as easy as it gets. This is the crack chicken. So I'm just using frozen chicken breasts. This is bacon that I had cooked last night, so I'm gonna chop it all up. A package of cream cheese and ranch dressing powder. It all goes into my, this is my pressure cooker, but I'm gonna do it like a slow cooker. And in about 3 hours, it will be completely ready, and then all you have to do is shred it up. So I'm gonna get everything mixed in together and let it cook. Chicken and cream cheese are in. Now I'm going to add the chopped up bacon. And then next comes the ranch dressing, just sprinkled all over everything. You might be tempted to add other stuff, but I'm telling you, it's perfect just like it is. So now I am going to do slow cook on low for 3 hours. And I don't touch it until the chicken is totally cooked through, and then I shred all the chicken and mix everything together. Okay, this has been cooking for 3 hours, so now you can see there's plenty of liquid in the pot, and I'm just going to shred all the chicken up and everything will melt all together, and then all I have to do is keep it on warm until it is dinner time. Dinner number 4 is called chili mac. Is this one of our favorites, Julia?
Yes.
Very delicious. Julia's just making herself a little snack. So the ingredients for this are macaroni, olive oil, chicken broth, tomatoes. I like the petite diced in this one for some reason. The recipe calls for different kinds of beans, but we prefer just 1 can of pinto beans, ground beef, onion, garlic, chili powder, parsley, cumin, salt and pepper. To my pot, I have added the chopped onions, the olive oil, and the ground beef. And then I am just going to brown this all up. And when it gets towards the end of being browned, then I will add 2 cloves of minced garlic. Now it's as simple as dumping in the chicken broth, a whole carton, the tomatoes, and I left all the juice in there. And then I did drain the pinto beans mostly, so most of the liquid is out of there. Now we are just going to simmer this for a while. I'm going to put the spices in, and then we're not going to add the macaroni until the very end. This is cumin, chili powder, and parsley. And now really this can just simmer for as long as I need it to. I will put the top on because I don't want any of the liquid to evaporate because we're going to be cooking macaroni in it. So I'm going to put the top on and let that gently simmer for about an hour till we're ready to eat. It's time to add the noodles, and I'm just using plain macaroni noodles, and I like to add about 1.5 cups of noodles. And then this will just cook until the noodles are done, and then you will want to eat it right away. Gone, I forgot to show it to you before I started. And then I just serve it with tortilla chips. Hey guys, it is time for our 5th recipe of this series. This is one that I bring to potlucks. I bring it all over the place basically because it is just a big slow cooker full of meat. It is delicious. It stays nice and juicy. And then I'm going to make homemade barbecue sauce to go along with it. But this is like a Cuban style, like shredded pork. So I am going to show you all the ingredients, get it into the slow cooker, because it really needs like 8 hours on low, which I don't have. So I'm gonna turn it on high for a little while, and then I'll turn it on low maybe halfway through the afternoon. But let me flip you around and show you the ingredients. Okay, I have a big bone-in pork butt. This is almost 6 pounds, which the recipe is for 3 pounds, so I'm just gonna double the spices and such. And then this also, once it's all cooked and shredded, freezes really nicely with the juices. And so I will do that for half of it probably and have a whole nother meal all ready to go in the freezer. But we have lime juice, salt, pepper, crushed red pepper flakes, oregano, cumin, onion, garlic, fresh orange juice, bay leaf, and that is all of the ingredients just for the pork itself. So I'm going to chop up the onion, put that in the bottom, put the pork on top, and then you cut some slits in the meat, and then you mix all of this stuff together and pour it over the pork. And I forgot to tell you that there's also a little bit of olive oil in this mixture. So everything is just all mixed up together. I have my pork and onions and garlic, and then I did make some slits in the meat. And then I just pour the mixture all over the top. And then all I have to do is put the lid on, and I do have it on high. I'm gonna leave it that way for a couple of hours because I'm a little bit short of time. And then I will come back and turn it down to low after a couple of hours. Okay, the pork has been in here for hours, and I can tell just by looking at it that it is ready to be shredded. You can see how it just pulls apart really easily. So I'm gonna take the whole thing out, shred it all up. I like to pick all the fat out and stuff, and then I will strain the liquid in my fat separator, and then I will pour the liquid back over the shredded pork and just put it on warm until we're ready to eat. Okay, the meat is all shredded back in the juices. I have some homemade barbecue sauce to have with it, and then we will eat it just like this. We'll pull it right out of the pan, dripping in the juices, put it on our plate, put some barbecue sauce over the top, and that is dinner. So I hope you enjoyed our top 5 favorite Pinterest meals. I have a ton more stuff pinned on Pinterest, but I just tried to pick out the stuff that everyone likes over and over again and that I continually make. And these were our top 5. So I hope that you will make them at home. If you do, let me know. I would love to hear what you think of them, and just let me know what you think in the comments. We'll talk to you later. Bye.